AITA for telling my sister I won't keep helping her as she keeps saying my help doesn't count. My sister, 29F, is very selective about how she wants things to be done. Whenever I help her, she always says it doesn't really count unless it's done exactly how she wanted. Recently, I spent a full day helping her with packing, cleaning, running errands. I was very tired and need rest because it was a lot of work, but later she told my mom I didn't really help with the important parts. I told her I don't want to keep helping if my effort is not going to be appreciated. She got upset and said, I'm just looking for what to get angry over, and that she just has high standards. Now my parents think I should just ignore it, but I feel like my help only matters when it fits her expectations. TIFU By using my wife's fancy body wash to jerk off. My wife uses some super fancy body wash that is an oil that lathers up during use. Just like the title says, I have been using it to jerk off in the shower for the last couple of weeks. It's super smooth, and for lack of a better description, feels amazing. My wife has been aware of my using and is annoyed because apparently it's expensive. She told me not to, but continued to use it. Recently, my dick has been tender and the skin has peeled in some spots. It's been happening for a while, and I just thought maybe I was jerking off too often. The other night, my wife jumped up after we were talking about it and went in the bathroom to check the label of her body wash. I think there might be a chemical exfoliant in this, she said. Have you still been using this? This is probably why you're having issues, dude. I told you not to use this. Turns out there is glycerin or something in the body wash which is described as a gentle exfoliant lol. I stopped using it, and YEP, that was the issue. Thankfully, my dick is good as new. TLDR, my dick started to peel because of a chemical exfoliant body wash. AITH for refusing to split assistant coaching duties after my partner volunteered. My partner 42 and I 38 signed our 9-year-old son up for soccer. Originally, we agreed we would take turns bringing him to practices and we would both attend games. At parents' night, the coach asked if anyone wanted to volunteer as assistant coach and said to let them know by the first practice. At home, my partner suggested I do it because I played soccer in grade school. I told him I had zero interest in coaching. He then said maybe he would do it instead. I specifically told him that if he became assistant coach, that would mean he'd have to attend every practice and every game. He said that was fine. At the first practice, he volunteered and officially became the assistant coach. Then the second practice rolls around, and he's not getting ready to leave. I asked why, and he told me it was my turn to take our son to practice. I reminded him that he had agreed to be assistant coach, which means he needs to be at every practice. He argued that since we originally agreed to split practices, that should also mean splitting assistant coaching responsibilities. I told him absolutely not. I warned him ahead of time what volunteering meant, and I never agreed to share coaching duties. Now he's upset and says I'm not sharing the responsibility, and that I should come to practices with him so things are even. I feel like the assistant coach responsibilities belong to the person who volunteered for them, and my responsibility is still what we originally agreed on, showing up to games and helping with transportation when applicable. AITA? My boyfriend, 28M, basically lives in my 25F apartment, but gets angry when I ask about rent. How do couples normally split this stuff? Sorry, English not my first language. I 25F been dating my boyfriend 28M for around 1 year and 4 months. We don't officially live together, but honestly, he is in my apartment almost every single day now. He sleeps here maybe 5-6 nights every week, showers here, eats here, bring his gaming setup here sometimes, even his work clothes are in my closet now. At first I didn't care because I love him and wanted him around. But lately it's starting to make me feel stressed because my bills got much higher. Electric, water, food, everything. I live alone and my apartment is small, so I notice it a lot. The problem is, whenever I try talk about money, he gets weird and defensive. Last week I asked if maybe he can help a little with rent or bills since he stays here more than his own place now. I tried to say it very calmly. He got quiet first, then started saying relationships should not feel transactional, and if he starts paying then it's not romantic anymore. What confused me is he actually makes more money than me. Not crazy rich, but still more stable. He buys expensive shoes and spends money on games and eating outside with friends, so it's not like he is struggling. Then yesterday something happened that made me more upset. I came home from work and saw he invited 3 friends over to my apartment without asking me first. They were drinking beer, using my TV, and ordered food with my account because he forgot his wallet. I got angry, and after his friends left, we argued badly. He told me I'm acting like landlord instead of girlfriend. I asked him then, why does he act like my apartment is free hotel? Now he barely talking to me and saying I embarrassed him. My older sister, 31F, says I already let this go too far, and now he feels entitled to my place. But one of my friends, 24M, says maybe he just got comfortable and I should have made clearer boundaries earlier. How do people usually handle this when one partner slowly starts living at the other's apartment? Is asking for rent bills normal in this situation, and how do I bring it up without making relationship feel like business deal? AITA for calling my daughters assorted boyfriends, Baskin Robbins. Last time I posted here, it was concerning my son Kevin, and TBH, a lot of you gave really good advice. I'm very, very glad to report that Kevin not only got out of that toxic relationship in the end, but he ended up joining the army, did a lot of growing up, and honestly so did I. And he and I have a very close relationship, and he calls me constantly for dad advice. I couldn't be more proud of him and the man he's become. Now, on to the current situation. My youngest daughter, 17F, we'll call her Sarah, has a Disney princess-style romantic side to her. She wants her fairy tale relationship, and, like J.G. Wentworth, she wants it now. Admittedly, she has the example of my wife and I set for her. We have an absolutely wonderful marriage. My wife is my best friend, and the house is always full of laughter. The problem is, she wants that at 17, which I have tried to tell her is not a realistic expectation. This desire has led to a veritable string of pseudo-boyfriends over the last 2 years. Don't ask me for a count, because I honestly don't know. It was enough that I had made a comment to my wife that, until one of them actually has 2 brain cells to rub together and sticks around, I'm not going to learn their names, and they're all going to be Baskin Robbins to me, since they're the flavor of the week. Now, I love and adore my daughter. She's incredibly sweet, kind, and has an absolutely manic, goofy side to her. She often reminds me of Gilda Radner during her SNL stint. But in matters of the heart and actual love, she has no experience because of her age, and any conversation with her regarding it ends in some variation of, "You just don't understand, Dad," being thrown out. To my mom and dad, if you ever read this, I'm genuinely sorry for everything I put you through as a teenager. I told my Baskin Robbins joke to a friend of mine recently, and she got visibly heated and said I was an asshole for this, saying it made my daughter out to be some kind of wit-ree, which absolutely blindsided me. I've always viewed the joke as a reflection on the teenage male experience, not my daughter, so, Reddit, I leave it to you. AITA, EDIT, thank you to those who gave genuine advice in DMs. This helped me see things in a different light that my brain honestly never considered. Yes, the joke will be stopping, and yes, a more concerted effort will be made to retain names. And thank you for reminding me just how many weird people are on this site. To the one dude who is jumping into every comment pointing out that she's technically my stepdaughter, you're friggin' weird, stop being weird and get help. EDDT2? Man, I forgot how Redditors can just make up entire life stories and biographies from a post-comment history. For a Reddit account, I barely use LMAO. Y'all need some better hobbies. At least I can admit my failings and work on them. Way too many of you are on some bizarre crusade to demonize everyone.